Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Total War Shogun 2. I want you to know, it really hurts me to have to say that out loud, because I desperately want to say Shogun 2 Total War. But that would be incorrect, because unfortunately, this was actually the first game in the franchise where they swapped it round and Total War was up front, and I still think that was a mistake. Anyway, last time, we kicked off our brand new adventure with a heroic victory against overwhelming odds, demonstrating the power of both spear walls and gunpowder. And today, right, we need to deal with the fallout of that victory, because I've moved into a brand new settlement, and these guys absolutely despise me. The reason for this basically boils down to three key things. 1, we're the wrong religion. 2, their town is currently on fire. And 3, it's on fire because we recently came in and shot everyone. So luckily, we can sort most of that out immediately. So step 1, yes, the main fort building was damaged during the most recent fight. That's a problem because yes, that building would provide a +4 to public order via repression. So we need to repair that as soon as possible. Fortunately, it only costs 7 gold to do so. That's going to be done next turn. Brilliant. But that's not all you can do in this settlement. There's in fact nothing to stop you building multiple things at once. The limiting factor is generally the available money. And luckily for us, yes, this town does currently have an empty building slot, because the previous owners never built anything here. So yeah, this being an actual slot in the castle town, we can build huge amounts of stuff here. There are plenty of the more advanced buildings and need me to research certain technologies before we can build them. Luckily, one we can build straight away is the chapel, and I think we absolutely bloody should, because 1, that's going to convert people to Christianity, 2, it's going to convert neighbouring provinces to Christianity as well, and 3, it lets me train more missionaries, and seriously, once missionaries get going, they are a force of nature. What we can also do is, yes, exempt this province from tax. So right now, it's actually yielding a pretty good amount of money to me. This is a rich province. But would you believe, they're not desperately keen on the fact that, yes, they're being forced to pay tax. So we'll turn that off for the time being as well. And finally, yes, my good friend, the missionary. He can just step over the border into this territory, because as soon as he's standing within this region, he'll also help convert them to Christianity. And though we can't make it there this turn, yeah, if this city really starts kicking up a fuss, I can literally embed this guy into the settlement in order to make it calm down a bit. So that's all we could do for now. Keep a time ticking along, and oh, I think I just saw the Ouchi floating around there. So, okay, they would desperately love to come and attack me. For the time being, though, they can't. And yes, I'm aware the town's still a bit upset. It's a work in progress. Bare minimum, though, we're making progress in tech, so, okay, we've now unlocked the marketplace through researching the way of Chi there, and now we're working towards Zen, the critical happiness boosting tech. Still, over in my new city, send more troops over to, bloody hell, we need to improve the roads. No one can ever bloody make it from point A to point B in time. But yeah, we're still at -1. Okay. You, sir, get in the city and just get them to calm down, because you can't have 2 turns in a row of being miserable. And there we go, up to 0. We're okay. And on top of that, yeah, we can now actually begin recruiting troops right here, because the castle's the building that lets you do the basic recruitment. Oh, and speaking of which, that does remind me, you leveled up from that epic victory, didn't you, my general friends? So right, here's how it works when a character levels up. Number 1, at certain levels, they get a choice of retainers, and this is pretty much a lucky dip. Some of these can be terrible, some of them are truly amazing. So, okay, a common mistress, -1 morale for all units under this man's command, in return to +1 to command when defending. That is terrible. Castle Architect, meanwhile, +1 command when besieging, much better. And on top of that, he gains 2 points we can spend in a skill tree to make him better and better, but also to specialise them in a particular direction. Over on the right here, for example, these are basically the upgrades you take if you want to make his general's bodyguard unit a more effective fighting force. this is, to my mind, never worth doing, because the General's Bodyguard, even with all these upgrades, is just not that good. It's so easy to just train superior cavalry. What's much more appealing, though, is, yes, the Strategist perks. Basically, 10% campaign movement range for every point invested. So, oh yeah, 2 points, go in there right away. Because I can't go down to the next tier, you need to be rank 3 before you can do that. So, yeah, 20% bonus movement range every time. Oh, and here's fun, by the way. The first great clan's been destroyed. Because, yes, this happens all the time. Basically, Japan in this game is a cocking bloodbath. Being a major faction is no guarantee of your survival. It's turn 3 right now, and the first one's already dead. Which, hilariously, is Tokugawa. And I say hilariously because, yes, in the real Warring States period, that was the clan that actually, like, you know, ultimately won and whatnot. But yes, in Shogun 2, it's not too unusual to see Tokugawa going down first. Those guys have a difficult starting position right in the middle of Japan. So, okay, over in the new territory, yeah. Replenishment is slow. We're going to need to leave some troops here just to keep the society calm for the time being. So for that reason, right, I'm sending us some reinforcements from Bungo around the corner. Though hilariously, it looks like, yes, the fastest way to actually get there would probably be cutting us straight through this terrain right here. Speaking of which, you may notice, by the way, the map does change from season to season. That's what each turn represents. 4 turns a year, 1 season per turn. So we're currently in autumn. Honestly, for the most part, it doesn't do much aside from making the map very pretty. Just don't be behind enemy lines during winter, because then you'll end up taking attrition. Not terrible attrition, mind, but still, if you can, launch new military adventures in spring, so you've got several turns to get it done before winter rolls around. And don't forget my trade ship, by the way, which is not just moseying around looking for stuff to trade, but also is a very good way of just moseying down south and seeing what's going on. So, okay. The Ito still hold this territory, which means the Shimazu, the other main faction I'm sharing this island with, haven't expanded anywhere yet, and I'm going to say that is very good news for me. Still, you keep on keeping on, buddy. Next turn, you're going to make it to a trade node. And yeah, that's about all we could do this turn. This is the downside of the Atomo. On account of the fact that, yes, at the start of the game, newly conquered territories absolutely despise you, you have to, like, you know, just stop and stabilize before you can roll straight on to the next. Oh, better and better as winter rolls around. Right, that chapel is built, and on top of that, I've activated the Word of God for the next 4 turns. So, okay, we're going to be able to convert people to Christianity even more easily. And that leads into a very exciting mission. Might and money. Now the chapel's been completed, we should establish a Nanban quarter at a foreign trade port, opening the way for greater military and trade opportunities, basically cozying up to the Portuguese, with the result that I would get a very powerful unit of Portuguese infantry. The Nanban quarter in question, though, which can be built here at Bungo, yes, it's a bit on the expensive side of 4 grand, so we can't do that just yet. Now, speaking of which, something that could very much help us with that business would be doing some flipping trading. So you, buddy, just get on the trade spot right there. Beautiful. And as a result, I've now acquired incense from Indonesia. And that's generating a nice bit of money for me immediately, but okay. Given the economy is going to be critical for the entire game and just get more and more important, let's just take a moment to explain how the economy works in this game, because it's really rather interesting. Basically, money comes from one of 2 places: taxes and trade. Taxes are relatively simple. Basically, every single town has got a number on its nameplate. That's the town's wealth. You don't actually get that, that's just how prosperous that society is. You get a cut of that. On this occasion, over on the left there, 25%. Though there's all sorts of ways you can modify that over the course of the game. Technology, agents, etc, etc. The point is, because it's currently 25%, I get 25% off 1,572, so my actual income is 391. But you may notice that, yes, by far the biggest contributor to that wealth number is farming. And when it comes to farm income, not all settlements are created equal. which is why my new society over here has immediately got vastly more wealth than my existing city to the east. Because this province has got a very fertile soil, meaning it generates a ridiculous amount of money, and as you upgrade the farms, though we can't do that right now, I don't have enough money to do so, that just generates more and more flipping money. This is why I wanted to get this settlement as fast as possible. Societies with a very fertile soil have got the capacity to be among the richest in the game. Which is why, now that yes, you're mostly stable, I'm willing to move you guys straight over to paying taxes again, because that gets me a big old pile of money I need to invest elsewhere, and I know that makes them a little bit upset, but yeah, as they convert to Christianity and as time goes by since I conquered them, they are going to calm down a bit. So that's taxes, relatively simple. Trade is a lot more complicated, and shares a fair bit of DNA with Empire Total War to my mind. The short version is, you've got to produce something, and then find someone to sell it to. Right now, what I've got inside my empire is, yes, crafts representing pottery or something, and incense. The incense I've acquired by sending a trade ship down to this here trade node. It then needs to be shipped back home. If someone blockades this route, however, yes, we can lose that money straight away, so being too dependent on trade can be dangerous. The pottery, however, we produce ourselves because, once again, not all settlements are created equal. For example, poor little Hyuga down here, this tiny town belonging to the Ito, is basically one of the worst towns in the game. Right now, it's got a basic castle town, one empty building slot, nothing's been built there at all, and then, yeah, basic roads and basic farmland, and I believe that farmland is not good quality. However, other settlements might have access to other things too. Busan, for example, has got a coastal village. Right now, it's not really doing anything aside from very slightly increasing the growth rate of my town, but if I want to in the long run, I can invest in that, turn it into a trade hub or a navy training facility. And then we get into the really sexy stuff. The special resources that are highlighted with those yellow circles, representing a special resource that lets you build highly specialized infrastructure. So in our new settlement, say, we've got a school, giving us access to the philosophical tradition buildings. And that's really bloody powerful, because that means immediately, technologies for me are being completed 10% faster, and a particular type of agent I could recruit here would be superior as well. And as time goes by, I could specialise that, either towards making more money, or researching even bloody faster. So, yeah, these specialised buildings, they're very much worth going to grab. Some of them, meanwhile, like this one right here in Busan, that's what generates the pottery, while simultaneously giving a boost to all ranged units trained locally, to represent presumably superior bows made by the local artisans. So yeah, as time goes by, we're going to want to consider what special buildings exist in what province in order to specialise appropriately. Oh, speaking of building, by the way, slight issue. We appear to have, yes, a port being constructed right here by the Ouchi. Can I burn that down right now? Can I just, like, go over here and slightly burn that? Okay, that appears to be on fire, so if I just keep burning that over and over, hopefully they won't be able to finish it. Oh, and hello, sexy. I think the flipping Shoni are getting desperate. They just came and attacked me. Okay, guys. You really sure you want to do this? Because I feel like we can handle you, actually. Especially if, gosh darn it, you're just slightly too far away to assist. But, okay. Either they come and attack me, in which case, yeah, they've got to go up against our defences, or I come out and attack them. I mean, honestly, we're going to be able to... No, you're not going to be able to... Well, actually, hang on. Can you make it to this site next turn? No, I don't think you can. Gosh darn it, I don't really want to stay cooped up in here. I wasn't expecting them to launch a counterattack so quickly. Okay, 3 Yariashigaru and 2 archers. I've got, yeah, basically the same, but I've also got my samurai troops that I can just throw away because they'll regenerate for free inside the city once we're done. So, yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult to win, especially if, hang on. I've definitely got some archers nearby who just need to step a tiny bit closer in order to get involved. And if we're lucky... Okay, hang about, friend. Can you guys get close enough to be involved too? Okay, can get one of the archers in range, not both. So, I think we're going to take this fight because, yeah, using the troops I've got available, I've got a plan. Oh, it is interesting. I was just working under the assumption that you guys were going to, you know, hide on top of a hill. We'd have plenty of time to very slowly figure out what we were going to do, but no, for some reason, despite the fact that I'm the aggressor, you seem to be coming towards me, which is very advantageous because there is a massive hill I can utilize here. I mean, I had a really clever plan in mind about, you know, throwing my gunpowder and these samurai out to one of the flanks so I could break them with a big charge and then just roll up the line, but it would appear, for whatever reason, they've just decided to run up a hill at me. Okay, the bastards have flipping lost it, because yes, thanks to the fact they're on the low ground, the archers have got to get close enough to my flipping guns to actually be in gun range. Oh yeah, arrows just coming down the hill, we've got a gun fire coming in from above too. They are not going to be enjoying that, and okay, looks to me like they're trying to get a flank off on this side. So, just to form up a shield wall. You guys are, yes, a basic spearmen, so very strong in your spear wall. But you're not going to enjoy taking on samurai retainers. Oh, flippin' no. So, okay, get over here. Inspire the samurai retainers to make them even flipping stronger. My gunners are doing a good job here. Everyone form up into your line. They're now marching uphill into functionally a phalanx. So, yeah, they are going to be falling apart in seconds. You're already struggling. You guys turn and face this direction. That is A-okay. My samurai retainers are doing a good work too. You guys just start marching down the hill into these guys, because yeah, the samurai retainers, they're going to be doing good work. You just get in this direction and yeah, take out their general, who's basically looking very vulnerable to being stabbed up the arse by a big pointy stick. So, yep, you guys just drop your fire in from above. The gunners on the high ground are annihilating everybody. Now, there are still some bow units over here. So, yeah, I'm going to break you out of your spear wall and tell you to just charge them, because you're way faster outside of that formation. Though if you can shoot these guys, great. Just, yeah, lay down some fire on them. But it looks to me like, yeah, between the samurai retainers and Tawani Yari Ashigaru, you guys are flipping falling apart. And at this point, yes, I think they've collapsed, so just send my horses thundering down the hill. Honestly, I have no idea why you guys decided to come to me. Like, maybe they just fancied one glorious last charge or whatnot, and I'm sorry, we're going to be continuing just for a second. We need to mop you guys up to make sure you don't come back later. You may also notice, by the way, yes, by far the most casualties I've taken are from the samurai retainers, which is great, because they're a garrison unit that just regenerates instantly. So, yeah, tossing them away into the front line to keep half this guy's army busy while I was just shooting him, tossing arrows at him, etc., etc. That's the way to go. And more units are just gaining more and more experience, better and better. Oh, and do not forget over the water. Right, that harbour is now complete, and could in theory, like, train some troops. So, okay, we've gone over there. Have we just set it on fire? Is that just blockaded, or is it properly burnt down? Because it doesn't look properly burnt down, but there is smoke. Okay, it's possible we're about to get into a naval war here. Because, yes, unlike various later Total War games, there's proper sea combat with boats and whatnot in this one. So, okay, might be a good idea to get out of harbour. Honestly, not the most important building in the world, but I wouldn't mind having the ability to produce some more ships in a hurry. You know what? For now, we'll say one basic harbour will do the job. And yeah, ships are pretty cheap, all things considered. So let's just get out some basic small ships with a handful of archers on them. So I'm pretty sure my starting ship was, yes, a matchlock ship. So basically, gunners. Beautiful. The problem is I just want to be producing as many troops as I can produce at all times. Because you've got to say, my armies look a bit flimsy at the moment. I don't have that many bloody troops. If I get attacked on an unexpected front in a moment, that could be an issue. Bare minimum, though, yeah. At least with this territory finally paying us some tax, we're making a little bit more money. Oh, better. Right. We've mastered Zen. So there's that +1 happiness. So the game immediately moves on to the next tech down the line. But no. I think possibly that's going to be enough in terms of the way of Che. Because I can gain +1 morale for every single cooking unit in just 2 turns. Which is very tempting. And then again, +1 to my daimyo's honor would be good as well. Because that helps offset the whole, being a Christian thing. Okay, for the time being, we've got to just get that plus morale. Like, that's just a nicer freebie. It would be ludicrous to leave untouched. And in the long run, yeah, it would not be a bad idea to ultimately work our way down towards gunpowder mastery, given that, my faction's entire thing. Oh, and here's a bloody annoying. The final handful of survivors from that fight went and burnt down my farms. Not bloody acceptable, guys. Seriously, if my really good farms go down, that knackers my income. Still, I tell you what, because this guy's moved down here, he's now trapped south of the river, because he can only go over the bridge, so I was going to send some troops to guard the river crossing. Basically, yeah, there's no more trouble you could cause, my friend. On top of that, yeah, just to reinforce you with a few more troops coming in. I think it's time to, yeah, move up against Heisen. I tell you what. If I just cancel your taxes for the time being, which, oh, blimey, that really knackers the old income. But yeah, that will allow me to send you, my friend, around the corner as a spy just to keep an eye on you. And yeah, they've got a few troops here, but honestly, they're kind of running out of steam, aren't they? With only one settlement, there's only so fast they can train them. I'm also going to upgrade the roads in this district because, yeah, that's not just movement speed, and we're going to be moving around this area a lot. It's also replenishment, which would not hurt. And though it's a tiny bit more expensive, yeah, I'm just going to build a slightly larger ship to guard this crossing. Because I can literally see the Ouchi forces hanging out there, waiting to attack Busan, which is currently largely undefended, so we need to hold this bloody crossing. And also we need to keep setting fire to their bloody port. Assuming it is on fire, I think it's on fire, it looks on fire. But yeah, I think next turn is go time. We need to finish off with the Shoni once and for all. Part of the reason is, as you may notice from, yes, the rather sexy number right under Heisen there, this territory is also extremely rich. The Shoni are sitting on some of the most fertile lands in all of Japan. Question is, are they going to try and do something silly? Right, they're attacking me in terms of actually going up to the city again. That's a weird decision, because, yeah, if you'd gone for the bridge and attacked me from both sides, then maybe at least you could have done some damage. Right, deploy the reinforcements that just arrived from down south over in this direction, and understandably, they run away in a panic. And I'm sorry, buddy, but that's not good enough, because at long last, we've actually started to put together the beginnings of an army here. And you, my friend, are going the cock down. So, okay, for spears, 2 bows, I've got, yeah, way more bows, and also a handful more guns. So, yeah, basically, we just outshoot them. Oh, and blimey, I wish this was a defensive fight, because it turns out we're just on the side of a cocking mountain. But tragically, no, we're probably going to need to go to them. So, okay, fight begins, and they are moving. But quite possibly just to, yeah, take up a good high position on this hill right here, but desperately hoping that they do just decide to march at me. Possibly, based on the idea that I've got more range than them, so they need to charge me, otherwise they're just going to be picked apart. Which is true, that is what's going to happen, so, oh, please come and fight me. I would love to just, retreat up the side of this volcano. Gosh darn it, they're just waiting here. Okay, fine, I'll come to you. Okay, bare minimum, they are moving a little bit, and their archers are trying to make their way to the front to shoot my spearmen, I think. Okay, archers, you take up a loose formation, and yeah, just make your way to the front here. Everyone else fall behind. No need to take casualties, okay? So everyone just, yeah, get into that formation. Get my general over on the side there. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, in loose formation, they're going to be much harder to hit. And okay, having sent my flipping archers to the front line, they've now pulled their archers back, but they're going to try and charge me with their general. Which is also a bad decision, because that is too much firepower. Like, I understand the idea, cavalry charge exposed archers, but guys, that's too many archers. I'm so sorry, you're outmatched here. So, here we go. My archers just rain down a fire on theirs. Beautiful. And yeah, this is just going to be a shooting gallery on this occasion. Now, it looks something like they're going to attempt to charge their general forward once again. So I'm just going to send some spearmen to intercept. That is a-okay. Guys, fall back, please. So, okay, they're going to take a little bit of damage. But my spearmen are basically there to, yeah, mop up at this point. Send my own general forward just to close the trap and make sure their general doesn't escape. But, yeah, generals in this game are soft and squishy. If they get caught in any sort of bad position whatsoever, they just melt. So on this occasion, yeah, he's down to 8 and wavering. Beautiful. And I'm pretty sure he's dead. So now just bring my own troops back. And okay. Well, that's been happening. This guy's been bringing up his troops too. So, okay. Things are getting a tiny bit scruffy here. What I'm just going to say is, yeah, send my own spears forward. Maybe not you. You're in a weird position. Yeah, once they get into that position, I'll put them into the phalanx. Archers, you guys just fall back at this point. Just get back behind the infantry. Just let them toss themselves into the spear wall. That's absolutely fine. And if the guns happen to get a shot in, good, but I don't think we actually even need them to do that. But yeah, they have, I suppose, somewhat cleverly advanced under the cover of their general sacrificing himself. Though, the downside of the general sacrificing himself is, I think their general's now dead. So, okay, guys, form up into phalanxes. Beautiful. And yeah, now you guys are here. Just turn around and open fire on any one of you choosing, though. And make sure the general is nice and tucked away. But yeah, at this point, they're just going to be advancing their troops into my phalanxes. Their general is dead. They're already wavering. That's the penalty of a dead general right there. They're just going to collapse and shattered. 80% of them are still alive, but they're shattered. They're gone. No trouble whatsoever. The only problem being, at this point, yes, these guys are just breaking instantly, but I've got no one to chase them down. I need to build some basic stables so I can trade some light cavalry. Because right now, too many of them are escaping because I simply don't have the bloody cavalry to actually, you know, murder them before they do. So yeah, vast numbers of them are dead, which is good at minimal cost. Also good, units getting stronger and stronger. At this point, okay. Both of them have now been forced down under here. But right, I can't actually make it to Heisen this turn. So in which case, I may as well make sure you don't cause any more trouble, my friends. And yeah, I think this is a perfectly reasonable scenario to use auto-resolve, because the game is generally very fair. In a situation like this, you can get a perfectly reasonable result out of it. Oh, and as it turns out, sorry, I didn't even notice, there's actually, yes, the second bloody guy right there as well. So, okay, that's both of them finished off for only 134 men lost. And honestly, I think that's a perfectly good result right there. Oh, and hello, sexy. Look who's finally come out to play. It's the cocking Ouchi. And they've got, oh dear. They've got a boat out. And a really, really large army nearby that could just hop in that boat and then get over the water. Okay, so we need more boats, got it. Which is unfortunate because, seriously, just look at my economy right now. It's not looking great. Oh, though speaking of money, okay. We've also got a second trade ship over here, just creating some lovely, sexy cotton for us. The slight issue being, yes, though we're now generating a good amount of goods, currently we don't have enough people to sell it to, because we're only trading with the Ito, and they only need so much caulking incense. So, yeah, plenty of our resources are not making as much money as they should. The problem being, yeah, I need to find someone who would be willing to trade with me. And lots of people not super happy with me right now. Now, there is the Chosakabe right over the water, but okay, I don't actually have the capacity in terms of ports to do that at the minute. No, for the time being, there's no one I could trade with. And what's even more concerning is, oh dear, I just noticed down in the bottom of the map there, Shimazu is expanding. Meaning they're probably heading in this direction. Oh, that's going to be something we need to take care of at some point. Okay, maybe we can force these guys to fight my boat by blockading their port. So I'm pretty sure their guys, yeah, they literally can't make it to the crossing right now. And I've got more boats coming in, so... okay, guarding this crossing is going to be an issue, because Boozin is basically undefended. So, okay, keep a close eye on everything now. This is when stuff starts getting a bit concerning and... right? You're trying to make a run for it, aren't you? Yes. Yes, you are. So, there we go. There's a proper good-sized boat. Right, deploy Mega Boat to block the crossing, because, yes, that big median boon, together with all these ships right here. Okay. There's no way he could deal with that. That's 3 ships versus 1. But until he leaves the harbour, I can't attack him. And even though it's winter right now, yeah, I feel like what we've got to do is move in and wrap up this war versus these guys. Though, send enough troops home just to, yeah, make sure you don't revolt next turn, and okay, that's enough. Though, admittedly, you are refusing to pay taxes, which I kind of need you to do so. Oh, bloody hell, the early game of the Otomo is, yeah, tricky. But okay, if I need money, all we do is take it from somebody else, like, say, the idiot Shoni. So, in we go. You guys are desperately attempting to retrain units, and, I mean, good choice, you've got archers out. That's a very good pick, but I'm sorry, my friend. That's not gonna work for you today. Because on this occasion, all I've got to do is, yeah, move my archers up to the wall and absolutely flipping annihilate you. And, yeah, this particular fort, I've decided to approach from this direction because, obviously, they're going to try and put their bows right here to shoot down at me. Good call. But there's a gate right here as well, so, no. General, you stay back, please. Yeah, I can just crack open the gate and send some basic troops in order to cause some trouble for those archers. Speaking of archers, loose formation, friends, and then forward you go to open fire on these guys, and this is going to be a difficult exchange. Abso-flipping-lutely. You guys are just forward, loose formation as well, please, if you might be under fire. But yeah, just head in that direction and do what you can to stop them. So, we're now in position. Archers are returning a fire on these guys, but yeah, just look at that. They're not taking much damage at all, which is precisely why I've sent forward you guys to just storm the gate. In fact, you know what? Guys. You just start climbing the walls purely to, yeah, disable their archers. If you can, you guys forward as well. We may as well just swarm them with superior numbers on this occasion. Because, yeah, with the gates under attack, they've turned their attention onto these here spearmen, who can be relatively easily replaced. They're not going to be taking that much damage with loose formation and whatnot. So, yeah, just keep on keeping on. Everybody forward, do what you can, take out these flipping archers, and they're down to 75. So, you know, these walls are helping them, but it can't block every single arrow. And there we go, gate appears to be down, so I'm just sending in these guys in order to, yes, pretty much hit these archers from behind. And okay, they are now not happy bunnies. Good. And with the archers down, we can just move our own archers up, and yeah, if they try and do anything to stop me just walking onto the plaza, my own archers can tear them apart. And at this point, we've kind of entered a bit of a, yes, you're trapped in here with me scenario. Because, okay, they've said their general charging straight into a spear wall, and, as you can see, doesn't work out well for generals. And they're sending their samurai to do the same thing, and they will do better. We've also got a couple of shots in from my gunners, though, yeah, they're not going to have a good line of sight. They can't shoot over the heads of the guys in front of them. But bare minimum, yeah, the archers will finish off the general. The spearmen, just because of their superior numbers, will be able to deal with the samurai retainers. And there we go. The job is done. We win. But they may just bleed for it. Seriously, look at that. We came in with 1,500 men. They had 260. and they made us take more losses than they took. And that was basically entirely one unit of archers in a good defensive position up behind the walls. Because, seriously, defender's advantage, it is silly in this game. However, the job is done, my guy levels up, and we've officially taken this province. And given it's the last province, if we want to, we can make the Shoni our vassal, meaning they get to keep that city, but now they work for me, which has all sorts of advantages, like for example, it makes me more honourable, because apparently having vassals is just an honourable sort of a thing. But no, I'm sorry guys, I might be willing to consider it, however, on this occasion, I want that cooking city. Because thanks to, yes, its neighbour, this place is already 13.7% Christian. And speaking of its neighbour, right, they're up to 25.7%, so we're making good progress here. And with you now on board, and ideally paying taxes as soon as possible, oh yeah, the economy is looking a tiny bit more rosy, and with that, we have eliminated our first enemy faction. And yet, as one enemy falls, plenty more begin to emerge, because, okay, I feel like the biggest thing we've got to deal with right now is the threat of the Ouchi, who are just squatting right flipping there, within spitting distance of one of my major cities. And now we know the Shimazu down here are on the move, it's only a matter of time until they take out the last Ito settlement, and then, with that done, they've only really got one direction left to go. I was about to say, at me, but apparently they've also declared war on the Sagara over here, who previously they would chill with, so, okay, that kinda works in my favour, because it buys me a few turns until they attack me, because this faction, they're the Katana Samurai specialists, so, yes, proper heavy hardcore infantry coming my way sooner rather than later. Still, I would say, having officially seized a northern Kyushu, how about we wrap things up there? But next time, right, I suspect we need to take our fight onto the ocean to stop the advance of the Ouchi, and it's only a matter of time until a much more dangerous army emerges from the south as well. So hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerds, and this has been the delightful Total War Shogun 2. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This guy's enjoying that. This guy's enjoying his elephant a bit too much.
Oh my god.
In Fair Verona, we set our scene. Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. They've managed to glitch inside one of the buildings. Elephants in the rear! And then in come the chariots!